Alright, fight fans, I'm here with Chris Caban, I'm Errol Jarrett, aka Jarrett Boxing, aka the baddest man on the planet. And we're going to talk about Adonis Superman Steven versus Andrzej Fonfara. This is a recap of the fight. Chris Caban, what's your take on the fight? And I just listened to the video we just did, and you said it was going to be a hard fight, and it was. What's your take, my friend?
Yeah, I thought it was a hard fight, and I thought Stevenson gassed out. I ain't expect him to throw that many hard punches that early. He threw a lot of punches, and he seemed to gas out around the 6th round. That's when he got the dude back in the fight. Yeah, he did a lot of punches and got the dude in the fight. And I thought my scorecard was 115-109. I don't know if you scored the fight or not, but I scored it 115-109.
Nah, that's fine. What's your take on the knockdowns by Stevenson and Fonfara?
That knockdown, both knockdowns was good, but Stevenson hurt him to the body, but he caught Stevenson. I didn't expect him to drop Stevenson in the fight. I thought it was going to be a hard fight, but I didn't expect him to drop Stevenson in the fight. It seemed like he hurt Stevenson again in another round, but he couldn't drop him.
Whose knockout would you say was the most hardest knockdown? Would you say Fonfara, or would you say they're equally the same as devastating knockout?
I think Stevenson was a little bit harder.
Stevenson's knockout on
it was about a tie because after a while it seemed like them punches didn't really hurt. He seemed like he had no steam on his punches no more after he got gassed out. So I say it's about a tie.
Yeah. By far the toughest opponent Fonfara Stevenson's ever faced. And to be honest with you, a lot of people they're discrediting Stevenson, saying, "Oh, Kovalev's gonna beat him," and you know, Kovalev will walk through him. And a lot of people say they see the weaknesses, but what people don't understand is that Fonfara is a very hardened opponent. I don't know what people thought this was gonna be. This is a very
They can't compare that because Stevenson is fighting tougher competition than Kovalev is.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the level he's been fighting it from Fonfara, to me, I knew it was going to be a tough fight. I mean, he had a good fight with Glenn Johnson. This is just Glenn Johnson after that fight. That's his retirement. People can say he wasn't the same Glenn Johnson, but if you have to see that fight, if you can compete with Glenn Johnson, you know you're going to be a Glenn Johnson. Is not easy guy to beat, man. He's not. He brings it. He gives you 100%, and Fonfara will be able to compete with him at light heavyweight when Glenn Johnson was a former light heavyweight champion. So you knew. In my mind, I said this guy's pretty tough, man. People love to knock down ESPN fighters. I don't know what for. Like, it's just a platform, another platform like HBO, like Showtime, for guys to come through. So my opinion, from my state is, I knew it was going to be a hard fight. It's like Koloff, not Koloff. Was Provodnikov. He came from ESPN. He had some good fights in ESPN. He's just an ESPN fighter, and he gave Bradley one of the hardest fights. And now he's a champion. Mark my words, this Fonfara guy is gonna be a champion. I don't know whether he's young, like 25. But I guarantee if there's a belt out there left out, he can win it. I reckon he can give Kovalev a good fight, and he could probably he can give Kovalev a good fight. You know, he definitely give Kovalev a good fight, man. So you can't take nothing away from it. Stevenson won the fight, and it was an entertaining fight. I need to go watch it again. And yeah, man, it was a great night of fights. Great night of fights. People need to stop jumping on the bandwagon and trying to say that that Stevenson is overrated and stuff like that, and understand that Fonfara is a hard opponent. What do you say, Chris?
You can't say. A lot of people never seen the dude fight. They're gonna say that, and people don't really watch boxing like that. So you gotta excuse some people. You can't just make statements. Not back it up. You make statements, and if you want to compare the resume, you really can't say who will be who, because if you want to compare Stevenson's last 3 fights, they've been better than Kovalev's last 3 fights. Cedric Agnew, you couldn't even find no damn video. You remember we tried to find a video and it looked like he was fighting in the high school arena.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So people don't know, and my man knocked out Campio too. Campio.
Yeah, he did. He's got a good resume.
Yeah, he got a good resume on light heavyweight.
That's right. That's right. And then the bottom line is if you know your boxing, you'd have known that I would have put money down on Fonfara. I reckon he could upset, man. You see the amazement on Natty Turner and Beats and you face when he knocked out. I ain't gonna lie, when he knocked down Stevenson, my mouth was open as well. I was like, damn.
I told y'all before the fight it wasn't gonna be no free lunch.
I told you already that the fight was gonna go to the cards, man. I told you, but I didn't foresee Stevenson getting put on his backside, and he was hurt. He was hurt, but he came back in the 11th round, yeah, and in the 12th round, he put a nice beating on Fonfara's body. But Fonfara, more praise for Fonfara. He give credit to Stevenson. Says he's a great fight, but you know, this was my night, and I'll come back again. And it was a good night. But people need to take some stock. I understand that. If you want to talk shit, put Fonfara against Koloff, and let's see what's going on. I guarantee you'll give Koloff a hard fight as well. I guarantee that. Would you say?
I agree with that. I agree. People that's off crazy off cleverly did some shit, and the fights they seen on HBO, and which was nothing.
Definitely, and he ain't fighting the competition that Stevenson and Fonfara's fighting. Fonfara's got he's fought better people he's fought better people than Koloff, but
exactly.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm saying. But anyway, Stevenson said he'll fight Koloff. He had no problem with it. He said Al Heyman sets up that fight will happen. So hopefully that fight will happen sometime, maybe this year. I don't know, actually maybe not this year, because that fight took a lot out of Stevenson. I think he might want to rest after that, man. that fight took a lot out of him, you know what I'm saying? So he might take a rest. So we'll see what happens next. Thanks Chris for coming over, jumping onto this. Leave your comments. Subscribe to Chris Caban's YouTube page, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.